a new gadget this morning. I've always loved cooking and want to start doing some YouTube cooking videos of my favorite recipes. Where I live, it's sunny all of the time, so I want to shoot them outside as much as possible. A lot of the cooking videos I've seen on YouTube use a portable induction hot plate to demonstrate the cooking process, so I ordered one from Amazon and it came today. It's a stylish looking unit, with a glass hot plate and touch-sensitive buttons. The cooking area is large enough for my biggest casserole dish and frying pan, which is a relief. I'm new to induction cooking, having been a staunch supporter of gas hobs, so was surprised to find that the hot plate has preset settings for boil, slow, stew, boost, stir fry and fry. With a traditional hob electric or gas, the settings are power-based, rather than temperature-based. With a power-based system, you control things by merely adjusting the gas or electric. If the food gets too hot, you have to turn it down. If the pan's not hot enough, you need to turn it up. With the Tefal, 2 of the settings, manual and boost, work this way. The other 5 are temperature-based, meaning the hot plate manages the power to maintain a specific temperature range. Hopefully, moderating the power to maintain a particular temperature range should mean both faster warm-up times and less burnt food. In the spirit of experimentation, I decided to test each setting to see if it delivered on my expectations. So the presets are slow, stew, boil, stir fry, fry, boost, and manual. There's also a timer facility. The first thing to note is that the interface is not that intuitive to start with, but simple when you get the hang of it. The boost, stir fry and fry function are accessed directly via a dedicated button for each. For the slow, stew and boil functions, there are 3 indicator lights on the left-hand side. These look very much like the shortcut buttons on the right but are actually just indicators lights showing which of the 3 modes, slow, stew, boil, the unit is currently in. You access these via a menu button underneath the indicators. By hitting the menu button, you cycle through the first 3 modes. Simple once you get the hang of it, but a little inconsistent nonetheless. We tested the 6 modes and got the following results. Slow. The slow function sets the power at 3 and keeps the temperature between 70 and 90 degrees Celsius. This resulted in quite an aggressive simmer initially, not really what you want if you want to put a stew on in the morning that will be ready for supper. However, by lowering the power, you can calm it down and get the desired effect without the worry of it boiling dry. Stew. This function is very similar to the slow function, but instead of 70 and 90 degrees, it maintains the temperature between 80 and 100 degrees Celsius. Again, playing with the power setting allows you to keep your dish at a sensible simmer. Boil function. So we tried out the boil function first. We hit the power button, placed a pan with 1.5 liters of cold water on the surface. Pressing the power button wakes the unit up. There's a power selector bar at the bottom of the hot plate, with bar and numeric indicators, showing the power level being used. Initially, these flash and display P0 indicating the unit is waiting for you to set the power level. Hitting the menu button on the far left of the unit sets it in boil mode. It took 4 minutes and 35 seconds to get the 1.5 liters of water boiling vigorously, which is pretty good if not spectacular. But it bested our kettle, and destroyed the time it usually takes on our gas hob. The unit displays P7 or max power, and I had expected it to throttle back once the water was boiling, but this was not the case. However, if you let the pan come to the boil and, leaving it in boil mode, lower the power to P2, you'll see the power being turned on and off and the water just kept at a bubble, precisely what you need to avoid pasta boiling over. Stir fry. The stir fry function worked great, putting just the right amount of sizzle into quickly cooking your favorite stir fry dish. In the stir fry I cooked, the vegetables were cooked to a fresh tasting al dente, without being raw, and the thin slices of duck breast we used were sautéed to perfection. Boost. The instructions on the unit suggested this mode for searing meat. One of the recipes we regularly cook is duck stir fry. We use pretty fatty duck breasts, so the approach we take is to sear the duck breasts in a hot pan skin side down. The searing process releases a lot of fat which we then drain away, although a small amount is retained to cook the stir fry. We then stir fry the vegetables, slice the duck, and add it to the vegetables for the last 3 minutes of cooking. This method avoids overcooking the duck, but provides delicate crispy skin and perfectly cooked meat. The boost button gives you full power with no temperature control, so you need to be careful to turn it off once you're done cooking. Fry. The fry function brings your oil to a maximum temperature of 220 degrees Celsius, which is pretty hot. Thin-cut French fries brown quickly, but for thicker chips, I'd parboil them first as there's a distinct possibility of them being burnt on the outside and raw in the middle if you fry at the maximum temperature. Again, you can change the power setting if you want a less aggressive frying experience. There's also the safety factor of using a hot plate that's temperature regulated. But we never tested any of the safety features and always turned the unit off once the food was cooked. Timer function. The unit has a 3-hour timer function. You can set the time by pressing the timer button and then using the power buttons to adjust the time. Summary. This Tefal hot plate is a nice-looking, easy-to-use product. It was mainly bought for its portability, but the advantages over a traditional gas or electric hob are very welcome. They will be a surprise to anyone who hasn't used an induction hob before. The addition of a timer function, temperature-controlled cooking modes, fast boiling time, and added safety features make this product a joy to use.